on that projection.
Point of clarification is a segue from what Trustee Ewan just talked about. In listening to this overall plan and listening to a couple of the college plans in separate presentations, aren't we talking about refurbishing an existing complex? In other words, we're not talking about, we're already overbuilt.
That's right. That is
we're
correct.
already overbuilt.
That is correct.
So we're not talking of adding additional facilities per se. We're talking of refurbishing the facilities we've got, many of which are 40 years old. So we've got, in my mind, a different set of what we're looking at. You know, we're not going to go out and build, 3 or 4 buildings in Merritt, 3 or 4 buildings additional in Alameda, and a bunch of buildings in Berkeley. Although we may go out and buy or lease a building in Berkeley because of their expanded growth. But we're basically looking to optimize the facilities we have and use the $390 million to refurbish those facilities. Is that a correct assumption?
That is correct. That is correct assessment, that we are going to be doing modernization of existing facilities. And even in situations where we build new, we have to take the old ones down in order to be able to capture the capacity load ratio issues that are involved. For instance, the district is contemplating having a new building facility for College of Alameda, but that would be predicated on the fact that we will need to take down C and D in order to do that. Otherwise, all the projects here will be allocation of resources to modernize existing facilities. So that is correct.
Right. The reason I bring this up, again, in my mind, I would hate to see us look at having 4 colleges, and are they getting this, they're getting this, they're getting this, they're going to grow, and we're not going to grow, the 1% here and 3% here, 4% here. I don't think that's productive for the 650,000 residents that we have that we're charged with and chartered to provide post-secondary education. I think that we've got to look at it and say we have a set amount of facilities that are overbuilt by state standards, and that we need to increase productivity. And what we're going to do is increase FTES to the degree the state funds us from 20,000 to 26,000 over the next 15 years within those facilities, albeit being a much improved set of facilities.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we want to take a look at the existing facilities and be able to see how best can we be able to utilize them to meet today's educational needs, like smart classrooms. If you take some of the buildings we have right now and you wanted to do smart classrooms, you cannot do too much with them. There need to be major modernization so that the backbone infrastructure that is needed to deliver smart classroom can be embedded into those type of facilities. Those are the type of planning that we're looking at. The only exceptions will be that at Mary College, that we maybe take building A down to reduce space. Then we have allied health program that will be brand new, that will replace the existing unit. And at Lenny College, when we take a look at the library projects there and the learning resource that will support that and have that as a brand new building. Other than those 3 facilities, everything is designed to be able to modernize what we have. So we need to take down a particular building in order to build a new one to replace it.
I'm just, we do have some speaker comments here, but I'm just reminded of the fact that, you know, and this is information, and sometimes it's hard to accept information that you don't want to necessarily hear or think that it's not what you expected. So I just have to remind myself that we pay for this very valuable information to help us with sort of our planning and what it is that we want to do, and it's up to the board and to figure out how we want to use it and what the best way of dealing with this information is. So I just had to put that out there because a lot of times we sometimes want to shoot the messengers, but If I may, Mr. President, have speaker cards here. There is agenda. This is the first speaker is Don Petrelli.
Not only for us to hear, it's for record purposes. Thank you.
First, I'd like to say that if you look on my card, I asked to be in the stakeholders' comments, not at this point in time. And the whole agenda is item number 1. The front and back, there's no other numbers. Okay. Okay.
The next speaker is Louis Quinlan.
I have the same issue. I'd like to be addressed as a stakeholder.
This is under public comments. This is Evelyn Lord.
Good evening. I'm here today as the curriculum chair at Laney College. I want to address the issue of process in terms of our educational master plan, and I wanted to refer you back to Dr. Allen's remarks at the beginning of the evening about the educational planning process, because I think he presented an ideal process that includes the faculty in the early stages of educational planning and the prioritization at the college level. What I'm concerned about in terms of what we were presented with last week is that we were shown programs from Laney College that were being recommended to be moved from the college to major programs, welding and machine technology being moved over to College of Alameda, and also programs being moved to Berkeley City College, our graphic arts, photography, and media programs being moved to Berkeley City College. And what bothers me about that as the curriculum chair is that we do have a process in our college planning process, and we've spelled it out in our accreditation report. We have a process, a 3-year cycle of curriculum review, followed by program review, and then that is to feed into our educational plan. And unfortunately, what happened, what we saw last week, there was a disconnect with what we had done as a college in terms of our program level program reviews and what came to us at the presentation last week. We didn't see the details of it yet this evening, but I wanted to share with you that there is a concern at our college about the process, that we do want to be involved as faculty in the programs of our campus and the prioritization, and that we also want to have a role in terms of coming up with ideas for how we handle issues that come up. That's all. Thank you.
We have no more speaker cards, so we can continue with the next element in the presentation.
Okay. At this time, I would like to call on WLC architect to present the facility master planning. As I indicated earlier at the beginning of this meeting, this is a roadmap. The recommendation from the consultant to the board and the stakeholders today is a recommendation. The process that needs to be followed by each of the colleges and the district as to what program may be aligned with another program will be determined by the stakeholders and the district as a recommendation coming to the board. What we have here is a recommendation from the consultants to be able to deal with the issue of a roadmap process. They are not carved in stones.